Good day everyone. My topic is about methods of starting AC and DC motors. Reduced voltage starting using part winding techniques of three-phase cage rotor induction motor. Part winding start. The winding in the motor must be split in order for it to use a part winding start. A portion of the winding, either half or two-thirds, will be connected when the motor is started. Dual voltage motors have split windings, but they can only be started on the lower voltage winding. A 230 over 460 volt motor, to give an example, will have the 230 winding powered initially. The rest of the winding is added with a relay or a timer when the motor has achieved a certain voltage. Loads that have a requirement for low starting torque, such as low inertia fans and blowers, can be started using part winding starters. Part winding reduced voltage starters. Part winding motors are similar in construction to standard squirrel cage motors. However, part winding motors have two identical windings that may be connected to the power supply in sequence to produce reduced starting current and reduced starting torque. These motor windings are intended to operate in parallel. Reduced voltage starters. It is a device that starts motors with reduced power supplied in the startup. Reducing the power reduces potentially damaging electrical and mechanical shocks on the system. As the name implies, starters motors, they can also stop, reverse, accelerate, and protect them. Whether it's a small fan or piece of mining equipment, electric motors are often the driving force behind them. Electric motors consume 60% to 70% of all energy used in the United States. Reduced voltage starters are a combination of a controller and overload protection. Reduced voltage starters are a combination of a controller and overload protection. Controllers turns electric current to the motors on and off. A conductor is a controller that is controlled by an electromagnet. Overload protection protects a motor from drawing too much current and burning out from overheating. The overload relay is the motor overload protection used in reduced voltage starters. It limits the time and overload current is drawn and protects to the motor from overheating. Why reduced voltage starters are needed? It is to avoid overloading the power distribution system and to avoid unnecessary wear and tear on equipment by reducing starting torque. There are 5 types of reduced voltage starters. First, primary resistor. Primary resistor starters are known for their smooth starters. They offer 2-point acceleration or one step of resistance for extra smooth starting and additional stages of resistors and contractors. Second, auto transformer. Auto transformer starting is one of the most effective methods of reduced voltage starting. It is preferred over primary resistor starting when the starting current is drawn from the line must be held to a minimum, yet the maximum starting torque per line amp is required. Instead of using resistors, these starters uses taps on transformer to control the power input to the motor. Taps are usually set up to provide 80%, 65%, and 50% of the line voltage respectively. Part winding. The part winding method requires dividing the motor windings into 2 or more separate sets. These identical winding sets are intended for parallel operation. A startup, power is applied to only one set of windings. As the motor comes up to speed, power is applied to the other winding set for the normal running. When windings are energized in this manner, they produce reduced starting current and reduced starting torque. Most dual voltage 230 volts over 460 volts. Motors are compatible with the part winding starters at 230 volts. Y delta. Y delta starting requires the motors have connection points to each of 3 coil windings. These are specially wound with 6 leads or for delta and Y connections. It is called the Y configuration because it is shaped like the letter Y. The connection results in the line voltage applied to an electrically larger winding. Reducing the line current, it provides 33% of the normal starting torque and 58% of the normal starting voltage. Solid state. The newest reduced voltage starters method is the solid state type. It replaces mechanical components with electrical components. The key is the silicon control rectifier or SCR. During motor acceleration, this device controls motor voltage, current, and torque. That's all. Thank you.